Night 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs, Game 1 between the Ducks and the Jets. With the call, Gary Galley and Dave Randorf.
Thank you very much, Cassie. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Honda Center. The Whiteouts in Winnipeg is going to have to wait a few nights. Tonight, it's all about the Orange Crush here in Anaheim. Ondrej Pavelec makes his Stanley Cup playoff debut tonight. He comes in with a shutout streak of over 187 minutes, 83 shots, 83 saves. Down to the other end, Frederik Andersen grew up watching the Stanley Cup playoffs as a young boy in Denmark. He played in the playoffs last year, 7 games of playoff experience under his belt, and he has been very good this season for the Ducks. A team that once again comes in with another 50-win season, top seed in the West, but they've fallen short of the playoffs, while the Jets feel like they've been playing playoff hockey for about a month. Winnipeg and all of Manitoba, welcome back to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Puck is dumped into the Jet zone, and Jacob Trouba is up to get it. Puts it up the boards, and it bounces out to center. Sent right back in by the Ducks into the corner. That is Jacob Sullivan, centers it in front, and nobody home for Anaheim. Jets turn the puck over slightly, and it rolls inside the Anaheim line. There's Jiri Tlusty up, went off of him, and inside the Ducks line. This is Clayton Stoner, who played last year the playoffs with Minnesota. Tipped just inside the line. And chopping at it there is Toby Enstrom, back out to center. Francois Beauchemin across to his young 21-year-old partner, Hampus Lindholm. There's another sharp angle drive in on Pavelec, who guards that far post. That one bouncing in front, and Pavelec is down, and it rolls right to Drew Stafford and out. Here comes Wheeler, stops up, throws it across, safely with a drive, and that was Myers' wrist shot, and it whistled just wide, and now here's a break. Kessler in there, snaps the shot, goes up and over the crossbar. On-start chances at either end to start this one in Anaheim.
A pretty feverish start for both teams as they go end-to-end, and here, put everything to the net. And this one comes from a crazy angle, but Pavelec has a little trouble with it, and then right back at him again with Kessler right on the doorstep. That's a big save right there. That's through traffic, and out of harm's way it went, and they're testing him early. They know it's his first game. They know there's going to be a little bit of jitters, but as you said, down the stretch, they have been in the playoffs these last 10 games. He's more than certainly up to the challenge.
First shift of the game for the big line for Anaheim. Ryan Getzlaf and Corey Perry along with big Patrick Maroon. Maroon, 6'3", 230 pounds. He's battling down low right now with Ben Sherratt. Anaheim comes over the puck into the corner. Moved across to Simon Dupré. Quick shot. And a save made by Pavelec. Here's big Dustin Buckland. Gives the puck back. Into the middle of the ice for Ladd. Big line steps in there. There's a shot kicked aside by Andersen. Back out the center comes Getzlaf. Bounces one in there on Ondrej Pavelec, and he'll leave it for the captain of the Winnipeg Jets. Ladd trying to skate around Getzlaf. Those two collide, and it's worked back to the line. Sami Vatanen puts it in, scores! A redirect in front, and Anaheim scores first.
If you're going to beat the Anaheim Ducks, you have got to take care of their #1 line. And right there, Ladd gets a little irresponsible with the puck as he sees Getzlaf coming. Remember, these are two big teams, and they play physical. Getzlaf finishes his check. Corey Perry picks up the loose puck. He finds Vatanen, and it's just a clear shot to the net. Ben Sherratt is in the lane. He's blocking the view of Pavelec. He never sees it. It finds a hole. 1-0 Anaheim.
Down the stretch, Winnipeg had been very good at getting the game's opening goal in 8 of their last 11 games. Not tonight. 1-0 Anaheim. Just over 2 minutes in, but Winnipeg back to work in the offensive zone. This one's picked out of the corner by Vatanen, the man who took the shot as he lobs it down the ice. There's Myers back to get it. What an addition he has been for the Buffalo Sabres. Takes the hit, moves the puck up the boards. Here's Chris Thorburn playing in his first Stanley Cup playoff game. In on the forecheck, gets tangled up with the Anaheim defenseman Stoner. Battle for down low. Emerson Edom races after it, chips it past his man, and Jackman does the rest out to center ice. Mark Stewart steps in over the line, leaves it for Jacob Trouba. Pass across. Jets. The Winnipeg Jets answer right back. Adam Lowry ties the game.
We've seen 2 goals. Both goals have come off of contact, and that's exactly what we're going to see in this series. Tons of contact. Watch Lowry, who leads the Jets in body contacts. Right here, makes the play and stands them up right at the red line. Here they come into the zone. Nice drop pass to Trouba from Stewart, and then go to the net. So the guy who starts the play off with a big hit at the red line drives to the net, and this is one of the areas that the Anaheim Ducks have struggled in, boxing out opponents going to the net, and that's the first goal for the Jets.
Good look from the net cam presented by LG, and Adam Lowry in his first Stanley Cup playoff game. First shift with a huge goal to tie it right back up. 1-1 already here in Anaheim.
That's a huge confidence builder for the Winnipeg Jets, who looked a bit jittery coming out of the gate. Puck possession was heavily to Anaheim, and they strike back. That'll give them some confidence here moving forward.
Scrum along the sideboards. Ricard Raquel is there. Stimniak hooks it inside the line. Bolshevik moves it out, and Anaheim steps in across looking for Jakob Silverberg. And after the loose puck, trying to skate away from his countryman Enstrom. Number 39 is Matt Bolesky, forced off of the puck, and Winnipeg has it. Here's Little now. Feeds it up ahead, goes in after it to Gray, recently acquired from the Pittsburgh Penguins. One of the late additions this Anaheim team made, and they're pushed towards what they hope is going to be a long run. Andrew Ladd crashes in there. Puck comes up the boards, and it's pushed up to Ryan Kessler. Kessler, a key part of this regular season, missed the playoffs last year with Vancouver. Put in there for Frolik, and he tried to tip it, but the puck was up in the air.
You're going to get a steady dose of that matchup. Kessler against Little. That's exactly what Boudreau wants.
Pass broken up. Pushed back into the Winnipeg zone where Myers has it. Banks it off the boards, and there's Ben Sherratt. Sherratt went a long run to the Calder Cup final last year. And here he is in his first Stanley Cup playoff game. There are 9 overall in this Winnipeg lineup. Button, lead pass up to Perry. Perry tries to get a shot away. Leading into him was Stafford. Perry wins the puck battle still when it throws it towards the net. Bang away there is Maroon. Pavlik's got it. And play is whistled down.
Winnipeg Jets' first goal since 1996. We're going to have a look at it. Look at the center ice stiff shoulder right there on Raquel. Sends it across to Stewart. Great support by Trouba. And then Stoner doesn't pick up Lowry's stick coming to the net, and a great little redirect on the forehand. And look at Corey Perry. You want to win battles? Right there. Knocks the stick, takes the puck, heads to the net, gets the puck to the net. Maroon, who's on this line to be in front of the net and to be a pain. And he's a big frame to move right in front of the Jets net.
Chris Wagner is going to take this job for Anaheim. This is just his 10th NHL game. 9 games this season. Nate Thompson is not in the lineup for Anaheim. Neither is John Gibson as the backup netminder. Both are expected back soon.
Well, Thompson's a big miss. He fills that third line center, and they bring a lot to the table. When you look at the players that they've added, a lot of physicality, a lot of grit, a lot of sandpaper.
Big hit there on Enstrom. That was Wagner going in there heavy on the forecheck. Puck comes free and it's backed up the line. Edom gets it back. Emerson Edom wrist shot, and it's blocked right in front and picked up by Slater and flipped down the ice. Here's Bolshevik with a quick up to Edom. Emerson Edom, the California native and first-round pick of the Ducks. Wearing number 16, here comes Lowry with a head of steam. Adam Lowry at the goal, throws it, a rebound. Anderson with a great save. Rebound bounces out in front, and Frederick Anderson with a brilliant stop. And play is whistled down with a hand pass.
This is Frederick Anderson's best save of the night, and he comes across. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast that he squares very well, and here he kicks a kind of a crazy rebound and pushes off the post and squares his body up to the shooter. He tries to look big in the net from deep in the net, and there wasn't really much there. Good combination save by Anderson, but those are rebounds you want to start to control. Kick them out of harm's way, and even though you've been in the playoffs before, it's the second year. You got those jitters, and you got to get them out. You want to feel some pucks. I think both goalies have been kicking out some rebounds. Hopefully when they settle in, those things will start to die and be smothered.
Kessler waved out of the face-off circle against Scheifele. Kyle Palmieri in to take it now for Anaheim. 6 minutes gone in a supercharged opening period here. Here's Enstrom. Drops it off for Myers, puts it up to center ice. Palmieri is there to break it up. And Bolesky trying to get it away from Wheeler, and the Jets D will reset. Enstrom at center, fires that puck around the boards. Needing it far side on the move, there is Wheeler. In behind the net, Stafford comes in to help out. Wheeler trying to dig that puck away from Dupre. The battle's still going on. There's Enstrom trying to hold the line. Finally comes free for Kessler. Kessler backs up, following up on Bolesky, but they're offside at the line. Anaheim scored first, but Adam Lowry answers in a hurry. 1-1 in Anaheim.
20 years in the making, Adam Lowry scores Winnipeg's first Stanley Cup playoff goal since 1996. If you're wondering what relief looks like, it's right there. Yeah, get up. Winnipeg and Anaheim tied. Stanley Cup playoffs continue on Sportsnet. Dave?
What a ride those fans have been on, and I get the feeling these Jets are kind of everybody's second favorite team. It's really been a great run for them. Ottawa's been an excellent story as well, but Gary, from March 14th, the Jets have gone 10-3-1 to punch their ticket to the postseason.
I mean, Calgary, Winnipeg, Ottawa, all great stories.
Ladd puts it towards the net, steered aside by Anderson. Getzlaff digs it out, but the Jets hold the line and step back in there. That's intercepted right away by Vatanen. Up ahead for Ladd. Ladd playing his 54th Stanley Cup playoff game. 2 Stanley Cup rings to show for it. He's only been in the postseason 3 times.
Odds,
yeah, he's got a high batting average.
When we talked to him today, he's off the cuff. He's like, I really haven't played that much in the playoffs. And with a grin on his face, those 2 cups that's a great percentage.
With Carolina and Chicago. Dustin Bufflin out there as well. He's also got another one of the Stanley Cup rings. Here comes Ladd, searching for that puck into the corner. Leans into his man Lindholm. Hampus Lindholm plus 54 over the last 2 seasons combined. 21 years of age, gals. You can appreciate his performance.
Well, him and Vatanen, they bring that quick exit out of your zone, that one pass exit, and Vatanen certainly joins the rush more than any of the Anaheim defensemen. He brings that offensive flair. He's paired up nicely with Stoner. They got a real nice chemistry together, and I think that's why they elected to leave Wisniewski out tonight. Bring the physical Stoner into the play against the physical Jets team.
Ricard Raquel trying to keep the puck in, and it's turned over and skated back up the ice. Winnipeg in there, Trubo with a wrist shot, and he missed stick side on Anderson. Silverberg was wiped out along the boards. Haluschuk leans into his man. Haluschuk gets back into the lineup. He is one of the favorites of head coach Paul Maurice. He's been injured much of this season, but he's out there tonight wearing number 15 in behind the net. Here's Haluschuk. And Stoner takes over, gives it up to Fowler. Fowler moves the puck up. Here come the Ducks in over the line. That wrist shot by Bolesky is handled by Andre Pavelec. Tim Hortons Keys to the Game brought to you by Tim Hortons Coffee.
Well, for the Winnipeg Jets, punish without being punished. You want to be physical. That's a big part of your game, top to bottom. Just don't take penalties. And own the puck possession game if you're Anaheim. You've got some skilled players who hold the puck extremely well. Get it in the offensive zone. Just don't be playing in your end. Get that puck possession game. And in the first 5 minutes, 6 minutes of this period, Anaheim had the puck quite a bit.
Kessler wins another draw, 9th overall in the NHL in that department. Sent around, there is Enstrom. Enstrom up the boards, and Stafford, he is squeezed along the sideboard area. And as we expected, there's not going to be a whole lot of room out there in this series. Here's Scheifele, he tries to cut in, then puts the puck deep. Wheeler leans into Stoner, knocks him off his feet, and the forecheck continues for the Jets. Centered out in front, and Anderson will cover up with Scheifele bearing down. And we're going to have a little meeting in front of that Anaheim net.
when the line came out, keep your head on a swivel, that was meant for a series like this. The second and third largest teams in the National Hockey League. The Winnipeg Jets, a ferocious forechecking, hard-hitting team that has some speed, and the Anaheim Ducks, who like to play that heavy game. And there's a hard check on Stoner, who's used to dishing it out. Wheeler comes in, he's a big winger, and he gets in there and uses his body perfectly. And I think Anderson was smart just to freeze that up. Once things start to look a little bit off kilter, no sense pushing the puck into a troubled area. Get it frozen, get the face off, and get everybody organized. And that was a big part of why Anaheim, when they lost to LA last year, that Bob Murray, their general manager, went out and he picked up a guy like Stoner, who last year in the playoffs with Minnesota was a rock for them. And you look at a guy like Dupré, who loves to hit. He's got over 200 hits and 100 blocks. You look at Kessler thrown into that, as well as Thompson. So that added, in the end, those four guys add 736 hits and 310 blocks to your lineup. That's a lot of sandpaper and grip.
They built this team really to beat the Kings. The Kings aren't here, but this team they're facing in this series is hard and fast. There's an example of it right there as Bufflin leans on his man in the corner. There was almost a chance in front, and it's skated away by Winnipeg to center and in. Anderson comes out of his net. Bufflin goes crashing in there. Here's Getzlaff down low, trying to get away from Frolic. Moves it up to Maroon. Maroon in the middle of the ice for Perry, trying to step around. Sherrod, who held his ice. And Sherrod's really been impressive since he was called up at the midway point early December. As the St. John's Defenseman of the Year last season in the American League. Here's Cam Fowler now. Fowler off the window. This one goes all the way down the ice. Trouba's back there along with Yuri Kaluski. Another first-timer in the postseason. 2 goals in a 49-second span in the opening 2 minutes of this game, and that's where we sit right now as the midway points of the first period. Lee Stempniak, who played last season in the playoffs with the Pittsburgh Penguins, he's up there, the forecheck on his backhand, spins it in there, and Anderson down, stopped it, and it goes behind the Anaheim net. Here comes Edom, who's had some jump here to start this game. Flips it in, back to get it is Slater. Forecheck arrives. Wagner. And down the ice it goes. Here comes Chris Thorburn now. Thorburn leaned into there by Vatanen. Edom is back there. Now it's Haluschuk. Trying to make something happen against Sami Vatanen. Thorburn comes in to help out. Haluschuk still battling. Now against Stoner. That's a handful. Here Slater tries to center in. Vatanen there to break it up. And the outlet pass is up to center ice. Dumped in by Wagner. Here's Tim Jackman. Mentioned that Anaheim has 9 first-timers. Anaheim only has 2. One of them is 33-year-old Tim Jackman. It's been a long wait for him. Here's a chance. Bolesky turns and shoots. It was deflected just wide. Penalty call coming up here. First power play of the game. It's going to be a hooking call. It's a tight one. It's a physical one. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet.
Welcome back to Anaheim. I'm here with Bruce Boudreau, and your perfect start, early goal, but do you like the way your team responded after they got the quick one back?
Well, I think both teams are going at it pretty hard right now, and I mean, I didn't like their goal, but that's, you know, when they're playing that hard and we're playing that hard, mistakes are going to happen.
All right, thanks for this, Bruce. Dave?
And Boudreau's Ducks are going to have to kill one off here. A hooking call against Ryan Kessler. The Jets get the first power play of the series.
Well, he gets the stick into the hands right there. Saw it on the screen of Drew Stafford, and that draws the penalty. And the Ducks penalty killing has been kind of middle of the road, but at home they rank 5th in the National Hockey League, which is pretty good. But these two teams have 19 shorthanded goals between them. The Ducks have 9 and Winnipeg has 10.
Here comes Wheeler with a head of steam down the left side, and he'll roll it along the boards, try a little after it. Works it to the line for Bufflin, who's giving it up. Here's what you're talking about, and Cogliano almost was off to the races. Andrew Cogliano, who has 3 shorthanded goals. Back in there's Ladd, fans on the shot, and Bolshemak sends it the length of the ice.
He was 1 step away from being absolutely clear-cut from his own blue line in. A little stumble and maybe a little hook at the same time.
Myers up there along with Scheifele, pulled off the boards by Michael Frolik. Frolik, a Stanley Cup winner himself, into the slot there looking for Stafford. Pass got away from him, and the Ducks sent it down. Dupre doing the job.
Well, the one thing you want to take away from the Winnipeg Jets is a clear shot from number 33, Dustin Byfuglien. He can absolutely bring it. You can look for them to steal that ice away from him.
40 seconds to go on the man advantage, and Winnipeg has yet to really set up, gals.
Well, that's what you want to do if you're Anaheim. As soon as they enter the zone, apply that pressure quickly so they don't have a chance to get set up, and then they never really get any kind of rhythm. You want your power play, if it doesn't score you a goal, you want it to create some positive atmosphere, and it just hasn't done that for Winnipeg at all. Good kill by the Ducks.
Myers goes across to Enstrom. Enstrom picks his way up the ice and then throws it right back in there just as Kessler is about to step out of the box, and that will do it. So Winnipeg 0 for 1. Not one single shot of that man advantage.
The one thing you don't want to do is create momentum for your opponent, and I think the Anaheim Ducks will pull momentum off that kill. That is a huge kill, not even letting one shot get to your net.
We'll see. Here's Bolesky. Can't control that puck along the side boards. Mark Stewart chops it right back in. Bolshevik right under the tape of Kessler, then it was removed by Mark Stewart. Here's Bolesky now. Having trouble along the side boards, but Stewart pushed it back in there. They'll try again. Bolshevik. Francois Bolshevik, one of 3 remaining Ducks from the 07 Stanley Cup Championship. Here comes Silverberg in deep. Kessler got a shot away and he fired it wide. Great chance there for Ryan Kessler, looking for his first playoff goal as a Duck. Dupre out of the corner. Kessler along the boards. That took a bounce right to Cogliano. Tries to center it, and Sherratt breaks it up, and the Jets flip it out to center. There's that momentum you're talking about. And this one is icing against Anaheim.
Silverberg was a great penalty killer and has been a great addition to this team. He, of course, was in that Bobby Ryan deal with the Ottawa Senators, and he just shows great outside speed, and then he lays this out in front, and Kessler gets a really good whack at it. You can have your guy covered like Sherratt does there, but if you don't have his stick, you haven't got anything. And he doesn't have his stick, and he gets a good crack at it, just a little up and away on the right side.
5:08 to go, first period. Tie game. Getzlaff battling there with Little. It comes back to Toby Enstrom. Enstrom got crowded there by Silverberg. Works the puck down low. Ladd on his backhand to Frolik. Frolik back to Myers, who sends it right back in there. Here's Andrew Ladd. Little working against Getzlaff. Gets away from him. Creates a little space. Back to Myers again off of the end boards. Here's the captain for Anaheim. Surrounded. Silverberg up the boards, and this is going to come out. Rolls back into the Anaheim zone where it's picked up by Vatanen. Sammy Vatanen, he is slippery. There's a shot, rebound. Back to left. Getzlaff shoots right off. And Pavlik makes the save. Picked off the boards by Blake Wheeler. Led the Jets in goals. Again, here is Stafford on his backhand in there. And Anderson makes the stop and hangs on in a tie game.
He's for 120 hits in this hockey game. So far, we've got 33, and there's still over 4 minutes to play. And these might not look like much, but this is only game 1. And as these hits start to add up, shift after shift, period after period, if this series wants to go long, and you would end up playing a 7-gamer, it's going to feel like you played 14. It's going to be that kind of series. Both teams know it. They're in it for the long haul. And we'll continue to see this kind of physical play from both sides.
Scheifele pulls that draw back to Ben Sherratt at his backhand. Swatted at it. And hands up in the corner, now behind the net. Pick free there by Lindholm. Into the center ice area, almost sprung Kessler, and then goes all the way down the ice for icing.
These are your streets. When you love the city loves you back. New Amsterdam Vodka. It's your town.
For a young team with such inexperience, that first goal from Anaheim, you started to wonder, will things unravel on the Winnipeg Jets, because Anaheim was all over them there in the first 3-4 minutes. But the goal from Lowry and a nice deflection, and Bruce Boudreau said it right. He didn't like it because you want tighter coverage. Has tied this up, has settled down the Winnipeg Jets, and this period is running at 50-50 now.
With under 4 minutes remaining in it. Mark Scheifele picks that puck up. Skates to center. Try to headman the puck up to Blake Wheeler, and they are offside entering the zone.
And that speaks volumes for what the Winnipeg Jets have had to do to even get into the playoffs. You look at the, Paul Maurice and his team going through all their defense being out at one time. You look at the Vander Kane scandal when they had to move him, and then you look at the fact you lose big Dustin Byfuglien down the stretch when you needed him the most for that in that suspension, and this team still pulled it off. So this is a team that's not going to get rattled. They may be young, they may have been inexperienced, but they're a very close-knit bunch of guys. And when you talk to them in the locker room today, you're getting the same feedback from every player. They're a very close bunch, and they're going to come in here and they're going to play this like they believe they're on an even keel with the Anaheim Ducks.
Paul Maurice has coached over 1,200 games, Gary said earlier this season. This team tries as hard as any team I've ever coached. As that shot drifts over the net.
And he's brought back some discipline defensively. If the one thing you had to look at the Winnipeg Jets, it would be they have struggled allowing way too many goals. They have cut their goals against down. They have cut their shots attempts towards their net. They rank 4th in the National Hockey. That is pretty good for shots allowed at your net every single day, including game days. We watched them this morning. They work on defensive zone coverage, and Paul Maurice stands over it and makes the corrections every single day, and they have gotten really good at it.
Had a good look there at 31-year-old Chris Thorburn, who was a black ace a few years ago with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Finally getting a chance to play a playoff game. He was very excited this morning. Jackson given a bump there by Mark Stewart. And Stewart ices the puck. Well, the Blue Jays renew ties with an old National League rival as Freddie Freeman and the Braves battle Josh Donaldson and the Bluebirds. Catch the action tomorrow on Sportsnet 1, part of an April free preview.
And both coaches are trying to preach the same thing to their team. Live the moment, live it. Don't get caught up in what's going on around it, and what's happened before and what's going to happen. Live in the moment, live through it, enjoy it. I think that's the way both coaches have approached it with their teams.
Slater in to take this draw. He's been excellent in the face-off circle the last 8 or 9 games. Here is Dupre now. Steps up there, makes the move. Dupre in his backhand. Tries to center it in front. Second attempt gets up there, and it's cleared by the Jets and sends all the way down, and it's going to go right in on Anderson. Jets complete a change. Gets left. Shovels it in. Sherrod turns. He's got Perry and Maroon down there. As Frolik goes in hard against this man. It's centered, and Ladd's the only one there. Stone contending with Frolik, got it up to Little, takes it out of his skates, trying to center it. Here's Frolik in support, and it comes back out to center. Byfuglien knocks that puck into midair, and Maroon's got to reset. Throws it back to Budden, up off the stick of Perry and in, and they'll complete a change. Byfuglien, who served that 4-game suspension near the end of the regular season, got in for the season finale, and he's also been out of the lineup with injury of late.
He's been their most brilliant player, 9-2-1 down the stretch, and his shutout streak was 189 minutes and 2 seconds, but how about that? Ladd steps on a puck, slides right into your #1 goaltender. He goes up and over. Ladd obviously feels terrible, not his fault. He stepped on the puck, but no worse for wear. He can take a hit, just like everyone else, but he took his in the warm-up.
He also took a high slap shot yesterday at practice from Tyler Myers and had to go and take a breather to shake that one off as well. If he could just survive his own teammates, everything should be fine.
There's that sinking feeling when you just run over your starting goaltender. I don't care who you are.
Kyle Palmieri went awkwardly into the board, slow to get up. Now he's into the play. Here's Kessler, centers it out in front. Bolesky was tied up. Sherrod up the boards and out. Bolshevik. The puck is stripped, and Bufflin could not advance it any further. Stafford in here in tight quarters, and that is offside at the Anaheim blue line.
Bit of a collision to the right of Andre Pavlik with Kyle Palmieri, and as it comes down in front, Sherrod kind of misses the puck, and he steps on Lindholm's stick. And when you're only about 3 feet from the boards, when like stepping on a banana peel, anytime you step on, you look at Ladd stepping on that puck, you step on a stick, man, it's over. You're going down. It's like wearing your skate guards on the ice. And when you've only got 3 feet to recover from the boards, and let me tell you, those boards don't move. You hit those pretty hard. It's an eye-opener.
Palmieri didn't even play this season until the middle of November as he got back from a high ankle sprain that he suffered in the offseason. Here's the Prey with a lead feed up ahead to Silverberg. Now Ricard Raquel. In hard there against Enstrom. Stepniak back here at support. Centering attempt and is broken up. Myers gets it to Talusti. Gary Talusti up there with Adam Lowry, who's got the goal tonight for Winnipeg. Here's Tyler Myers now being watched by Andrew Cogliano, the reigning Ironman currently in the NHL. Final minute now, first period in the Honda Center, game one. In a 1-1 tie.
Been entertaining or what? Close to 40 hits, a couple of goals on some net drives. And what a quick period for these two teams.
Up ahead, just out of the reach there, Corey Perry. 33 goals in the season for him. Now here's a chance for Brian Little, who's got some speed. Little in, and he throws it towards it and off of the end boards. Final 30 seconds now, that misses and allows Anaheim to gather some speed to the neutral zone. Here's Perry. Getzlaf was all ready to fire, and the crowd thought there was a hook or something, and they're not going to get a call. Back come the Jets. It's Ladd, throws it across the shot. Great stop by Anderson on Trouba, who crept up. He was the late man and got a good shot away. Now Perry rolls, shoots, and he whistles the one. Rebound, and it goes just past the net as time expires. A wild finish to the first period, but it remains a tie game. And this one is just heating up.
Both these coaches are going to be talking about reading the rushes better. On the rush, some good chances. Look at this back check from Ladd. He gets right in on the stick of Getzlaf as it comes in. You have to have back pressure. I know the crowd wanted a penalty here. The drop from Perry, and there's the stick in from Frolik and Ladd. Both players honing in.
Semi Vatanen has scored for Anaheim. Adam Lowry has the goal for the Jets. It's 1-1 here in Anaheim as we send you back to Hockey Central and Darren Millard.
To Anaheim, the shots were 9 apiece and the score is even 1-1 after the first period between the Jets and the Ducks. Well, Paul, take us through that minute, or maybe less than a minute. You get scored on early, and then the great response by Adam Lowry.
A bad break off our own foot goes into our net, and that's a telling tale in this building for a young team. But Adam Lowry, we got better through adversity. Brian Little goes down this year, and Adam Lowry and Mark Scheifele have to move into 1-2 holes at a critical time, and he's been just spectacular ever since.
39 hits in that first period. I think that's expected, but is that tougher hockey than what you guys saw down the stretch?
No, that's pretty much the game. Now it's faster, so there's speed and hitting in this game. We saw a lot of grinding hockey in the Central Division. That's pretty much a standard night for us. But the difference here tonight is you're seeing a lot of speed going into those hits, and those collisions are heavy.
Paul, we appreciate this.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Well, let's go right upstairs to Gary Galley and Dave Randorf with the call of the second period.
Thank you, Cassie. All set to go here for the second period as Adam Lowry in to take this opening draw. He is 12th in the NHL in those hits. Your thoughts on the opening 20, Gary?
Well, an exciting opening 20 minutes for sure in the first game. There was no feeling out process whatsoever. No wait and see. Attacked right away by Anaheim, countered by the Jets.
Anaheim sends the puck in there. Lowry back in on Raquel, knocks him off the puck. There's Stewart. This is his kind of party, isn't it? Got to work the puck up the boards. There is Lowry as well, and we have play whistle down as the puck hops out of its play.
couple of goals in this game only. They came very early in the first period, and two young star stud defensemen, one on each team, are going to be in on both these goals. Sammy Vatanen lays this to the net. He gets a little bit of a break as it goes off Ben Sherratt's skate. And then Jacob Trouba with a nice little pass. He saw where the stick was situated for Lowry. It wasn't in front of him on the backhand. It was sitting in the middle on the open forehand. And a real difficult deflection to make with that open blade. But a nice redirect and a nice goal, his first goal for Lowry.
Matt Bolesky fishing for that puck inside the line. He had 22 goals on the season. Here's Kessler out of the corner. Ryan Kessler cycles it back, ends up behind the net. There's the long reach of Tyler Myers, who's now lost his stick. That allows Palmieri to center it across to Kessler. The pass too high to handle. Winnipeg up ahead to Tyler Myers. Sends it in around the Dashers, and meeting it far side is his former Sabres teammate, Drew Stafford. Dustin Byfuglien played some major minutes in that opening period. Sends the puck in. Lindholm and Bolshevik go back and forth. Here is Hampus Lindholm, and that's going to end up back with the veteran Bolshevik.
I'm not surprised you see Byfuglien play 7 minutes and 42 seconds. But for the Anaheim Ducks, how about Cogliano? He logged 7 minutes and 19 seconds in that period as a forward. That's a lot of ice for a forward. Byfuglien shifts, close to a minute each one. Those are going to have to shorten up. He has a tendency of taking long shifts, and as the series moves on, those are going to catch up to you. Well, Lowry, who's used to throwing body checks, 256 of them, just lays Raquel down on the ice, and it was nothing bad. It wasn't even a hard hit. But something happened on the way down, and Raquel came up limping, and it looks like he either twisted his knee or his ankle, and he went down the tunnel into the Anaheim Ducks locker room, and he has not returned to the bench as of yet. It wasn't a vicious or a ferocious hit of any kind. It just may have been the way he went down.
Good face-off win there by Scheifele. That shot is wide of the mark and off of the end boards. Winnipeg Jets won 61% of the draws in that first period. Here's Stafford now getting it ahead. Wheeler on his backhand. Can't center it in front to Stafford. And it's clear to center. Byfuglien sends it back in. And the Jets have to clear the zone on the lead offside call, allowing Anaheim to get it out to center ice. Stepping in is Corey Perry. Slaps a shot wide of the mark. And picking it up now is Slater. Dupre cycles it back around, near side, picked up by Edom. Edom tries to advance the puck, gets past Trouba, and so does Jackman. Jim Jackman now leaned into back of the net by Stewart. Jackman not shy of the rough going. Rejoins the battle, but the puck comes near side for Jacob Trouba. And now he's got Hallisjuk. Leans into that one, fires it in. Trouba stepped up here. Now Edom finds the puck at his skates and then flips it up, and it's knocked down by Winnipeg and then turned back over to Emerson Edom. He'll step in there. He's got Wagner up there with him. There's Wagner. Trying to throw it back to the point. Not enough on it, and Lowry takes over. Adam Lowry, whose father Dave played over 100 playoff games. Here's Stoner now. Stoner stepping in and stepping around. Byfuglien, there's the shot up high on Pavlik. And around to the far point, moved across. Raquel back of the ice, wrist shot, easily stopped by Pavlik. Lee Stempniak waits for that one. Nice little feed up to Lowry. Tolusti, far side, Ben Sherratt gets the puck deep, and Anderson stops it behind his own net. Here is Raquel now. Raquel fans on the shot, keeps going towards the goal, and is stripped by Stempniak, the veteran, playing now on his 7th NHL team.
He's one of those good foot soldiers, versatile player, and he's going to score you some goals every now and then, but it's his responsibility, and good 200-foot player.
Save made by Anderson. Back up to center is Kessler. Can't find any room on the back check against Prolik. And that is shoveled in, but it is icing.
Put a few good collisions in this one. Every one of these collisions is like being in a minor traffic accident on the road, and Jackman, who's a big character, catches one right there from Stewart. I was talking to Stewart in the dressing room this morning, and I was like, This series is kind of like climbing into your pig pen, isn't it? Then he had this grin on his face. This is the kind of series he loves to play in. Jackman love to get involved, love to bang. They play their best hockey when they're physical. Good solid hit by Stewart.
Pulled back by Kessler, but it's between the two defensemen and forces everybody back. Lindholm fires it right back in there. Fires. Has the puck taken away, and it's cycled back into the reach there of Bolesky. Now Enstrom saw Lindholm coming, and here's Palmieri with a wraparound on his backhand, and Pavlik down. Myers knocked Palmieri to the ice. Loose puck just out of the reach of Kessler, and it's cleared to center and beyond. Here's Beauchemin, 34 years of age. All the way down the ice it goes. Kessler in on the puck. Trying to get it up there to Patrick Maroon. Maroon takes the puck free into the skates there of Dupre. That allows the Jets to race out. It's a 3-on-2 break into the line. There's Stafford looking for some help. Stafford in, shoots, scores! Drew Stafford gives the Jets the lead. And has this guy ever been hot?
You mentioned Lee Stempniak. For the Buffalo Sabres, Drew Stafford was one of those great 200-feet player. Anaheim has possession of the puck. They've got it. It's a sloppy pass. It doesn't get connected, and it comes all the way back, and it bites you at the other end. Dupre doesn't handle it on the wall, and when he doesn't handle it on the wall, this is a clear 3-on-2 from the other end. And Stafford, he's kind of assessing it as he's coming in. He's having a look, okay, can I make a pass? Can I make a pass? No, I can't. He just pulls the trigger and beats Anderson on the short side. That is not a good goal to give up if you're Anderson. That's a short side goal. That should not be going in a game like this.
Stafford, who last played in the playoffs in 2011, gets his first goal of this postseason, and the Jets have their first lead. Here's Cogliano, his shot, stopped by Andre Pavlik. Here's Raquel trying to fish his way in front. He is upended, no call, and the Jets are back at center. Stempniak dumps it in. Soluski's in there against Cam Fowler. Out of the corner, Stempniak throws it back the line. One-timer knocked down by Fowler and into the corner. Ducks just get that puck out. Now it's at center. Raquel goes across, trying to get it at Silverberg. Jakob Silverberg towards the net, and there is Toby Enstrom. Here is Ben Sherratt now. Sherratt with lots of room to skate it up the left side. He's in there. Here comes Sherratt trying to work it around. Biden centers it out in front, and Edom was there to break it up. Good rush there by Ben Sherratt. He had Halischuk lurking in front and couldn't find him in the tight space. Another big hit. Boy, this Chris Wagner kid is bringing it tonight.
He's a college kid. They didn't think he was going to be as physical.
Here's Jackman inside, puts it towards the net. Here's Edom now. Edom trying to step away from Slater. Centers and loose puck. Almost there for Jackman. And the Jets in transition back the other way. Halischuk shoots. Rebound. Anderson comes across and makes a brilliant stop on the back door to keep it a one-goal game. He robbed Chris Thorburn. The Jets feeling it here in this second period, and Anderson hanging on. And here in the Honda Center, it is 2-1 for the Winnipeg Jets on the second period goal by Drew Stafford.
Well, Bruce Boudreau's not going to be too happy. 2 outnumbered attacks in the last 2 minutes. One ended up in the back of the net, and the other one had to make one heck of a save.
Speed and size, he knew all about it.
When you go to the net and you attack the net, and this is exactly what they do. Jackman is in tight. He's your third man high. Now Edom's your third man high, but he's at the end of a shift, and he is out of gas. And it's his guy, Thorburn, that gets this amazing chance. And yes, you want to try to score goals and create opportunity at the net, but you don't want to do it at the balance of giving out outnumbered attacks going the other way. Good on Winnipeg to turn over pucks deep in their end and turn them into offensive chances. And that could have easily been a 3-1 hockey game as Thorburn laid that to the net. That was a heck of a save.
A lot of pressure on this team, a lot of pressure on Bruce Boudreau, who's never been past the second round of the playoffs.
way more pressure on Anaheim. I mean, there's no doubt about it. You'd love to be starting this on the road if you could help it. Being at home, the pressure to win game one is immense. And we saw last night alone, 3 road teams get the first win, and Montreal had their hands full.
Puck put in deep by the Jets. There's Shifley in there, skating away from Kessler. And Kessler picked his pocket, moves it up the boards where it's held momentarily, and now it comes outside the zone. Stafford now with 4 career playoff goals. Happens Lindholm out from behind his own net. Nifty little play to get into center ice. Trouba steps up and takes down his man at center ice. Palmieri who has to dust himself off. Ducks center the puck and it goes all the way back down to their zone.
Winnipeg's defense is large, but they're large and mobile, and they stand you up with the blue line as good as any team in the National Hockey League. Jacob Trouba, nice stand-up.
And Fowler turns to receive that pass, moves it up there, then skates in after it. There's Trouba, and a couple of Ducks go in there hard against Jacob Trouba. Patrick Maroon helping out, who had taken a number on that last play against Kyle Palmieri. Ryan Getzlaf now, who has an assist on the opening goal of the game by Vatanen. Back into the Winnipeg zone, but not for long. Stepien skates it out, right side. Crisscrosses with Zaluski, his wrist shot. Blocked right in front by Stoner. Back up to the captain, Getzlaf picking up speed. Near side for Cogliano. Bouncing puck drifts to the end boards. Getzlaf goes in there hard against Sherratt and comes up with a puck. And behind the net, looks left, looks right, and has it stripped by Bufflin. Goes to the backhand and flips it down the ice.
Little backhand wedge by Dustin Bufflin to get out of harm's way. No chance for Anaheim to reconnect with the puck.
Back the other way comes Anaheim. Silverberg's up there, but he was all by himself. Here's Haluschuk. Haluschuk giving a bump right in front of his own bench. And now Hampus Lindholm with a quick up. Off the stick of the intended target, but now picked up on the fly by Raquel, and they're offside coming in, and Raquel was all by himself, and the crowd hates this call.
Raquel has had some kind of success against the Jets. He's got a couple of goals and 4 assists in the 3 games this year, and right here, you be the judge. Is that thing onside? It looks to be just offside on the far guy. Silverberg coming in may have picked that back foot up. You give it, then you receive it, then you got to enjoy both. Jacob Trouba stands up and lays down Cogliano, and then right in here, in comes Maroon and lays out Jacob Trouba. And again, you have to like both to be in this series.
Well, I tell you what, they're going to have to tighten the boards, the screws, when this game's over. Here's Ensom Lowe, shoots it. That save made by Anderson. The rebound goes up in the air, and Bolshevin fishing for it, gets it to center right. Anstrom tips it back up. Just inside the line, Jets back on the attack as Jackman goes in hard. Over on the far side, that time against Ladd. Ladd puts it to open ice, near side. After it now is Little. First to the puck is the veteran Bolshevin. There's Stafford. Boy, even the linesmen are getting hit in this game.
I don't care who, just hit somebody.
Just hit anybody. Well, we knew this one was going to be the black and blue series of the first round, and it's living up to the billing.
Welcome back to Anaheim, and with all the trade additions at the deadline for the Ducks, they went through a bit of a transition period, and Ryan Getzlaf didn't like what he saw, and it was after a big loss to the Rangers in Columbus. He called a team meeting. Everyone got to voice their opinions. They went on to win their last 7 games, but you can tell Dave and Gary, they need a bit more leadership here tonight.
Boy, they have struggled with some of the speedier teams in the National Hockey League. You look at the Tampa Bays and the New York Rangers and the Chicagos of the world, it brings a lot of speed. They were 1-6-1 and got outscored 28-10. Well, that's a huge margin.
Puck batted down out of midair, and he goes back into the Anaheim zone. Here's Shifley working in the corner. He's up there with Stafford, and Wheeler's in there as well. Kessler stripped of the puck. Here's Shifley moving in. Stafford in there, shoots, rebound. Anderson down, comes across, makes another stop. All kinds of bodies in front of that Duck net, and they keep it out. off a turnover there by the pressure put on Kessler.
The Ducks they're rattled. They are absolutely rattled. Outnumbered attacks and turnovers in the last 6-7 minutes are crazy.
Kessler on the opposite side now to Dupre. Moves it across to Fowler. Round the boards it goes. Stewart backs up into his man. That's Corey Perry, who's taken off his feet there by Ladd. Maroon put in his line to create some room. Gets the puck to Getzlaf. There's the shot up high from Stoner. And Pavlik makes the save, and there is no rebound.
Time and space. When you have speed and you have size, you take away the time, and when you get to take away the space, you do it physically, and that's what the Jets do. They're on you hard. They bang you down. They make you turn pucks over with the forecheck. And then this one, it looks like it either gets off the toe in the post as it goes through the legs, and that's the post all the way by Blake Wheeler. Wow. 3 outnumbered attacks down the last stretch of this period. 1 resulted in a goal. You look at Tobias Enstrom as well, the chance that he had. I mean, that's a lot of outnumbered attacks coming your way. And the Anaheim Ducks, you can't imagine the pressure that's on the home team to win game 1. You know, John Cooper, we listened to him in the intermission. He's talking about how all the pressure's on them now that Detroit beat them. The road team coming in, they just got to win 1 game. And if they win the first one, the pressure on the home team is immense in the second one. So far, so good for Winnipeg with the 2-1 lead.
And the Ducks, to a man, well aware of what's awaiting them for games 3 and 4 when this series shifts to the MTS Center. Here's Jacob Trouba, tries a shot, blocked by Getzlaf. Trouba stays on it and works it down low. Here's Little now. Brian Little back the line, one-timer by Stewart, and it's into the skates there of Getzlaf. Ladd battles forward, back to Mark. Stewart backs up, wrist shot right on, and that is handled and held by Anderson.
How do you handle the line of Getzlaf, Perry, and Maroon? Very simple. Make them play in their end. The LA Kings, when they played the Ducks last year, the one thing they wanted to do was, if they were going to give them any possession at all, it was going to be very little, take away their time and space. But they have spent the last 3 shifts in their end. You saw the Perry turnover earlier. That shift, the little line comes out and contains them down low. That's how you keep them off the scoreboard, is make them play in their end. Hard minutes.
They're under their end now. Cogliano cannot get it deep, but they still battle for it. Now it comes back out. And whoa, look at that. That stick goes way up in the air and into about row 15. Oshman has to go get another one, but they did get the puck in. Here's Sherrod out from behind his own net. Gives it up to Adam Lowry. Garrett Taluski hit hard by Bolshevik. And play is whistled out. Well, the future of the NHL awaits. Find out who will take this year's first overall pick of the 2015 NHL Entry Draft Lottery. Catch the draft live on Hockey Night in Canada, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, this Saturday on CBC.
Well, a veteran defenseman who says he's felt the best he's felt in years lays this hit on Yuri Taluski. He is an involved defenseman. Lots of ice time, lots of hits, lots of blocks. He is a competitor. And as you get a little older, you get a little wiser, and he plays a good, smart game, and he doesn't shy away from anything. Bulky guy, he loves to throw those kind of hits.
Well, he's been throwing the hits. He's also been scoring goals this season. He has 11 goals. That's a career high, and he didn't even score a goal until late December. 7 minutes to go in the second period. 2-1 Winnipeg on the go-ahead goal by Stafford. Shots are 16-15 in favor of Winnipeg. Edom now at center ice. Emerson Edom wide, trying a shot. Whoa, and off the skates of Stewart, and very alertly Pavlik covers up.
Plays like that can really turn a game around, and a lucky break for the Winnipeg Jets. And what happens when you hit everything, Edom comes over the blue line and just tries to dump it at the net. He doesn't even want to try to skate towards the net. That's just a puck he just wants to get rid of, and it just goes off the rear skate, the right skate of Stewart, and really harmless going to the net, but good on Pavlik to track it in there. A But when you constantly keep rattling your opponent, hitting them, stepping up on them, banging them, I mean, they stop taking ice. For Edom, you have nobody with you. Take the ice, get down to the goal line, wait for players to get in the zone with you, then try to make a play, or at least put it to the net with authority where there's a rebound or something to play off of. You know you're going to get hit, so you quicken up the pace of getting rid of the puck, and that's just playing into the hands of the Winnipeg Jets.
Face off of the attacking zone for Anaheim. Haven't had one here in a while. Kessler to take it. Against Scheifele, and the Jets control. There's a shot off the shoulder of Pavlik. They work it back line. Quick one-timer. A hard blast by Bolesky. And then reached the net. Stopped by Pavlik. Good pressure here from Anaheim. And the Kessler line. Scheifele relieves the pressure, but they give it right back to the defense. Banked off the board. There is Kessler, keeping the puck deep. In after it is Kyle Palmieri. Myers hits him, and the puck goes to the far side. Bolshevik meets it on his backhand and walks in there, takes a shot, and reaching out to cover it up is Pavlik to hang on for the draw.
One's only beat him early. Had 16 shots on him, and the last couple, the face-offs are so important, and Winnipeg won 61% of them in the first period, but they didn't win the last one, and that was a shot to the net as we watch Bolshevik coming in down the wall. Pavlik just easily stops that and freezes it, and here's the one off the face-off. You step in and let it go, and that's what you got to do if you want to beat these goalies now, is you got to release the puck quickly and hope that you can catch him moving and trying to track the puck through all the legs.
Especially Pavlik, the way he's playing right now. His shutout streak ended tonight at just over 189 minutes. And they only have the one. Here's Perry now into the corner. Centers it far side. Pavlik with a glove. Takes that one away from Ryan Getzlav.
Well, now you see it, now you don't. What a glove save.
Pavlik has been hot, and his team is up by one in Game 1, the Stanley Cup playoffs on Sportsnet.
Gary Galley mentioned earlier Francois Beauchemin and how physical he can play. He's played the last 2 years with the youngster Hampus Lindholm. Last year he thought he played a little bit safe. This year he feels that he's had a little bit more confidence in the youngsters who can provide more offense. He did have a broken finger and mumps earlier, but he thinks that earlier rest will help him here in the playoffs. He did score 11 career goals this year, which was a career high, and it's interesting to note he has not had any contract talks as of yet with the Anaheim Ducks moving forward. Dave.
Thanks, Cassie. Face off again, back of the Jet zone. The big line on the ice for the Ducks. They had a long talk, a little meeting on the ice. In the television timeout for the Jets. Gain possession and work it back out to center ice. Corey Perry. Clayton Stoner now with it. Takes a look up the ice. Banks went all the way down there. And then Hines first with the puck. Here's Perry trying to center it, and Buckland was there at the near side. Perry waits for this puck along the side boards. Shovels it in there, and it's tipped. And Sherratt skates it away from Patrick Maroon. And Sherratt, Andrew Ladd hit hard there by Stoner while he was looking the other way.
Get that pass behind you from Sherratt, and you're looking around backcourt. As soon as you turn around, you know Clayton Stoner's coming. That's prime real estate to take the space of and lay the body on him.
Those are the hits you were talking about, right? Those are the ones that add up over the course of this series.
Lots of ice bags for the trainers.
Here's Scheifele stepping in. Scheifele couldn't get one more move around the defenseman Fowler. Myers bats that one out of the air, and Fowler gets it to sit down, curls back and gives it up. Here's Raquel now. Raquel goes across to Simone Dupre. Room on the right side, stepping in, backhand shot, easily handled by Pavlik. Jakob Silverberg spins it back into the corner. Enstrup there, Cogliano right behind him. Andrew Cogliano centers it back. Lindholm with it, gives it up, and there was nowhere to shoot, so they just dump it into the corner. Oh, they try to center it, and Silverberg tipped it wide. Now Raquel, more pressure from the Ducks. Blast blocked right in front by Enstrom, and he gets it out just as Bolesky steps it in, and that's followed up with a big hit on Scheifele right in front of the Jets bench. Kessler now, they're They're stepping in, tipped in front, and it goes into the corner. Ducks all over the place now, and we have a call behind the play.
What a bounce-back shift for the Anaheim Ducks. And I'm not quite sure if it's resulted in a penalty for them at the end of the day. Two really big bangs. I mean, the body contact here and the puck at the net. Watch this one on Enstrom. Step up, boom, drop the shoulder. What a solid hit. And then right after that at center ice, there's another one on Scheifele. And then this chance right here. Put it to the net and drive into the net. Myers takes down Bolesky, but I don't think there's going to be a call at all here. I think they were looking at possibly a high stick or a tip-off Winnipeg and face-off inside.
Kessler against Lowry. .341 to go, one cleanly. There's Vatanen, Vatanen with a shot, and that is blocked in front. Emmy Vatanen has one goal tonight. Here's a chance for Stoner, in shoots, and Pavlik makes the stop and hangs on.
Two good shifts for the Ducks, and that's how it starts. You got to get one good one, then get the second good one, and now you're starting to build some momentum, and here they come. This is what they do best. They track down pucks, and they get to the net quickly, and that's how they score a lot of their goals. Good job by Kessler, good puck possession. He's hard to get the puck off of. And then Stoner wide open in the middle of the ice. It's just a wrist shot, but with that kind of traffic hanging around Pavlik, you're hoping something's going to hit, something's going to drop, a rebound. You might get to a loose puck. Good job by Pavlik to not only make the save, but shut down any rebound that was sitting there.
Lowry's line stays out there. The Getzlaf unit comes out for this face on the opposite side now. And he goes right towards the net. Pavlik ready for that, goes into the corner. There's a puck battle with Maroon. Centering attempt looking for Perry. To the line, not out. Vatanen across to Stoner. Around the boards he goes. Here's Patrick Maroon. Drops it off. Getzlaf centers it, and it's just out of the reach of both the intended targets. And Salusti's got it. He'll drop it off for Lowry. Stepping in. Near side looking for Stepniak, and it rolls in on Frederick Anderson, who's got it.
Cassie was talking about Francois Beauchemin and the fact that he's been around a while and breaking in the young defenseman last year. And look at the leaders for the Anaheim Ducks, and Beauchemin with 81 games right up there with Ryan Getzlaf and Perry and Ryan Kessler. And believe it or not, that's 293 in the Winnipeg Jets total playoff games for their team, and the inexperience, of course, only 301 amongst their whole team. So certainly the experience, you get the check mark on the Anaheim side, but it's Winnipeg with the 2-1 lead.
Buffin with a drive into traffic, knocked down in front. Another big hit there. Slater applying the pressure, and we have a call with a hand pass right in front of the Anaheim bench.
Well, the one thing you know when you're going to get the puck is you're going to have not a lot of time, and somebody with a black or white sweater is going to run into you. And right there, Silfverberg goes to play the puck up the wall, and Slater says, I don't care. I'm going to finish you every single time. It's a mantra for the Winnipeg Jets. Track and finish. And it doesn't matter. You'll wear your opponent down, and your opponent starts to realize that. And hopefully they're making their plays a little quicker, and then you get to turn over some pucks.
Remember, Jakob Silfverberg made his NHL debut in the 2012 playoffs in Games 6 and 7 with Ottawa.
You know who spot he took? Mark Stone. Mark Stone played the previous game instead of Jason Spezza, and it was Paul McLean who decided to make the change and go with Silfverberg, and I think one he regretted as they went down to the Rangers in 7.
Here is Edom now stepping in, and he is stepped into by Buckland. Moore backing and crashing in the corner. Is there enough ice down in these two dressing rooms for the postgame? Fowler moves it across. Loading up, there's a shot, and Pavlik makes the stop as it was redirected right in front. He saw it at the last second. Here's Fowler with a drive, and that misses. The Ducks have been pushing the last 4 or 5 minutes. Dupre thought he kept that puck in, but he did not. And again, another scrum ensues, this one in front of the Anaheim bench.
Dustin Byfuglien by far outweighs every player probably by about 30 pounds, and he gets a chance to finish you. Man, though, you feel that 260 pounds laying into you. And goaltenders, sometimes you got to make a reaction, and right there, I'm not sure if he deflects that puck or not, but it looks like Edom gets a piece of it up in the high slot. And what a great reaction save from Ondrej Pavelec as he gets a piece of that with his pad. And the Ducks have been coming on. The last 5 minutes, they're starting to apply pressure. They're starting to get some offensive end zone play, and they're getting pucks to the net now.
What a stretch this has been the last month for Pavelec. Last played of the postseason on a Calder Cup run in 2008. He and Brian Little were on that team. Chopped out of the ice, and it's a foot race. Maroon is in there against the smooth skating Myers, who won that race easily. Andrew Ladd, met by Perry. The puck almost came out. Now here's Perry to Getzlaf. Back to the line, and Stoner. Wrist shot into traffic, never reached the net. Little picks it off the boards. Frolik upended, and they just get it outside. Stoner. Momentum is definitely wearing black and orange right now. But it's the Jets with a one-goal lead. The only goal of this second period scored by Drew Stafford. Bolshamam up to Lindholm.
1 minute remaining.
Final minute now, second period. Bolesky tries a shot that goes way up and out of play. Diego Costa and Premier League leaders Chelsea host Wayne Rooney and Man United Saturday, right here on Sportsnet.
Heard the guys in the studio talking about a tough first period for Ladd, and got stripped on the first goal. And here Corey Perry takes him down the wall and steals the puck and creates a good offensive scoring chance around the Winnipeg net.
Kessler in to take this drop to the right of Pavelec. Here's Lindholm now trying to find that puck. Kessler is to it. Neither can get to it. And Stewart leans into Palmieri, knocks him off the puck, but Bolesky follows up, shoots, and that's blocked by Trouba. Sent back down to the Anaheim zone. Bolshamam stripped of the puck by Stafford. Out in front for Shifley. Following up is Wheeler, who got a shot. And Anderson makes a big stop against the flow of the play here.
We're going to get a penalty here to the Winnipeg Jets, as I think Kessler just lured a Winnipeg Jet player into popping him one. What a block here from Trouba. He's got an assist on the goal, the Lowry goal. He's also had a couple of big hits, and there a big block. And right here, the shot and the glove saved by Anderson, and there's the punch in the face from Shifley. And they're going to try to get under your skin the best that they can. And the one thing for the Winnipeg Jets is they played a hard physical game, and I mentioned punish, but don't get punished. And right there, Shifley, the young player in his first playoff game, reacts. You want to pop every player during the course of a series, but you cannot throw punches like that when you got a one-goal lead on the road against a team like the Anaheim Ducks.
32.5 left in this second period. This Anaheim power play has been almost non-existent. They have just 3 power play goals since February 23rd.
31% versus Winnipeg.
Here's Perry in, and he fires that one wide. Men of the far point. Sammy Vatanen walks the line across to Getzlaf. Back up top. Vatanen goes across. There's the shot, and it's tipped on its way in. Wide of the net. Frolik battles forward, and the Jets clear it down. Anderson stops it up, and that is going to do it for the second period. 1:28 remaining in the penalty to Shifley, but with 20 minutes to play, the Winnipeg Jets have a 1-goal lead after 2. It's a rough one here, the Honda Center tonight. 2-1 is the score. Let's take it back to Darren Millard.
Dave, Drew Stafford hasn't played in Winnipeg for very long, but he will not have to pay for meals around town as he makes it 2-1 for the Winnipeg Jets. And back in the Manitoba capital, it's the whiteout. Don't wipe out.
Absolutely, Cassie. I think this was a turning point of the period and why Winnipeg got the goal they did. Here's one early where it sets off a 3-on-3, but look who joins the rush. It's Enstrom. And the Ducks just look laboring coming back into the zone, and a heck of a save there by Anderson. And then earlier on, Jackman misses the puck, and at the end of a shift again, laboring coming back is Edom. And what a great chance for Thorburn, and a heck of a save again by Anderson. This one, not so lucky on. It turns over, it gets wide to Stafford. He gets good net drive by Scheifele, and he rips this thing on the short side. Cassie's absolutely right, though. Those last 5, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, the Anaheim Ducks started to look more like themselves like they did in the first 5, 7 minutes of the game, where they started to get more possession in the offensive zone, started to get more pucks towards Ondrej Pavelec. And they got a $1:28 here left on this power play to see if they can't get themselves tied in this game. Remember, they are the comeback kids, and they have done it many, many times. 50 over the last 2 years, and 12 come back to wins here this year alone.
Scheifele remains in the box for the roughing call as Corey Perry barrels into the jet zone. Wheeler hard around the boards and down the ice.
It hasn't been a good-looking power play, but the one thing you can take solace in if you're the Ducks is you have about a 31% success rate against the Jets. And you're hoping you're going to be able to continue that here.
Shot to the line, and it's held by Vatanen, who has 7 power play goals to lead the Ducks this season. Getzlaf in there, behind the net is Maroon. On his backhand, being watched by Trouba. Perry out of the corner, works it back to Getzlaf. There is Vatanen, up high, wrist shot, and it's tipped just wide. Comes to the far point for Fowler. He'll switch places with Perry, steps out, snaps a shot. Pavelec the save, rebound into the corner. Here's Perry again. Fowler works it back. Sammy Vatanen up top. Getzlaf gives it back to Vatanen, who walks in. Slap pass in there. Perry scores!
He's been quiet. He did set up the very first goal of the game, went off of a Getzlaf hit and a turnover of the puck. And right here, he walked off the half wall and had a real excellent chance. And then he's standing in front of the net, and he tracks down a loose puck that kind of pinballs off a couple of players and lands on the stick of Corey Perry. Winnipeg had done a pretty good job up to this point, but they hadn't been able to clear the puck. Therefore, they're still sitting in their end. Guys are getting a little tired. And all of a sudden, Maroon drives to the net, little redirect off a skate, and all of a sudden, you got an open net to slam that thing into. And the power play strikes again against the Jets for the Anaheim Ducks.
And they're right back in business in the offensive zone. Walking under the corners. Palmieri centers it on the front home. Pavelec down, and the puck goes over to Blake Wheeler. Wheeler chips it ahead, tries to skate around Bolshevin, who got just enough of him. Bodies colliding behind Anderson. Up the boards and back out to center ice. The Anaheim Ducks have scored. They scored during the regular season just 37 power play goals. Second fewest in the league. 5 of those were against Winnipeg, as you pointed out, Gary. Now they got one here tonight, and they've done it again. They've come back to tie a game in the third period.
They know how to win those one-goal games. They feel very comfortable in those types of games. 31, 1-7 in one-goal games this year. That's an NHL record.
Let's see how the Jets respond. Tagliano, hard of the puck, gets it back to his defense. Vatanen, who's skated miles tonight. Stoner, lead feed up for Silverberg, who taps it in there, and it goes in behind the net for Ben Sherratt. Both teams completing line changes. So Sherratt skates to the center, and he is hit hard there by Edom. Can't get it deep, and the Ducks set it right back in there. Now Buckland comes in and leans into Wagner. On the center, buzzing now. Long pass across the ice. Frolik gets there, tries to poke it in behind the net. Andrew Land up there. Simon Dupre being hounded from behind there by Little. Off the window and out to center ice. Ducks step in, and the puck rolls in between the skates of Sherratt. Wagner tries to center it. And a penalty call coming up here, and it's going against the Jets.
Anaheim has turned up the heat here. Towards the end of the second period, Cassie was talking about it, and they've continued this right in the third. How about Vatanen in on a goal, scores a goal, and helps set up that one there. The young defenseman chipping away on that power play. He's so good at it. And now the one thing that bothered the Winnipeg Jets all season long are penalties. And right there, careless use of the stick by Sherrod. It gets up on Wagner. And the Anaheim Ducks are back on the power play. And look who's back there looking for more cookies. Corey Perry.
They win the draw. They were far better in the face-off circle of that second period as well.
This is where this line gets dangerous. They're getting a ton of offensive end zone time. You look towards the end of the period, this power play, it's a lot of end zone time for a very good, strong line.
And they're feeling it. Getzlaf surrounded. Foley bang into that pocket. Finally relieves the pressure for the Jets. Fresh penalty killers up front. It's Wheeler and Ladd. Remember, Winnipeg has scored 10 short-handed goals this season. Getzlaf chops it around Stewart. To the line, held by Vatanen. Vatanen towards the net, looking for the tip on the far side from Perry. Back into the corner. Walking out as Getzlaf, threw it up top for Perry, and it ends up back at the point. Vatanen along the boards. Patrick Maroon lets it get past him. Centers to Perry, and he tapped it down low. Getzlaf got it. They got it on a string right now. Cross-ice speed. Vatanen mishandled pass. Puts it towards the net. And it winds up with Getzlaf. Out of the corner, Corey Perry looking around. Dishes it back. There's the slap shot, and it's deflected wide. Into the corner, met here by Fowler. Vatanen puts it back in there. Perry walking in. Corey Perry centers it to Fowler. They got past him, and the Jets skated away. What a chance there. Ladd drops it off. Here's Blake Wheeler, tripped up, centers it, and Anderson makes a great stop on the Captain Ladd. Oh, what a shot there. Back up to center ice. Enstrom. Back to Myers. 15 seconds to go in this penalty to Sherrod. The long 2 minutes for the Jets. Up ahead to Kessler. Fresh legs off the bench. Here's Palmieri and shoots, and he whistles that one well wide of the mark. Walensky meets it. Stepniak beats him. Sherrod steps out. Team's back at even strength, and Winnipeg has killed it off. Weathered a major storm here, but the Ducks keep coming.
It's momentum. They didn't score, but they have carried the play for close to 6 minutes in this period, and it's all about momentum. Good-looking power play for Anaheim. Winnipeg's got to answer back with some strong shifts here.
Lowry up to Halas-Chuck. Here's Bolsheman. Trying to find that pocket. He gets it away to Palmieri. He fires it in. Cogliano meets it there, and it goes off a Jet player, and it comes near side for Simon Dupre. And a big collision well after the whistle on Sherrod. And that's going to draw a meeting again in the corner.
This is the part sometimes I don't understand. If it's a delayed offside, no player should have to take a hit on a delayed offside. I mean, you got to get to the whistle faster than that. As we look at this chance right here, Fowler wanted it earlier, and by the time he got it, it was a bit behind him, and he missed it. And that allowed the Winnipeg Jets to come down shorthanded. You mentioned the 10 shorthanded goals they've got this year, and a good second effort right there. Ends up on the stick of Ladd, and he gets it going right away, and a good slide across. And by Anderson, as I mentioned in the onset of the game, he squares to the puck extremely well and moves laterally really good as well. So that just got across and shut that down.
Bruce Boudreau says he is very, very calm. Silverberg down low, working there with Cogliano. And it just comes outside the line. Winnipeg desperate to quiet this building down a bit because the temperature's gone up. Here's Wheeler. Good hard work with the forecheck. Has to go back and retrieve his stick, and that allows the Ducks to work it up the boards and chip it down the ice. Raquel's going to apply some pressure on Sherrod. Has to hustle back there, and he does, and he works it back to center. And that is offside of the line. All tied up. 2-2 after the power play goal by their top goal scorer.
A yellow Ferrari in the building can only mean one thing, that Teemu Selanne is also in the building. You can see him watching this game tonight. You see George Peros there in the background, drafted by the Jets in 1988, won the Calder. They raised his number 8 here when they were playing the Jets. A huge reception when he played his last game in Winnipeg, and to Jets fans, he will always be a Winnipeg Jet. Dave?
3.5 seasons in Winnipeg, but what 3.5 seasons it was for the Finnish Flash when we all found out how spectacular he was with 76 goals out of the gate and 132 points that Calder Trophy winning season.
And his book he wrote raised a few eyebrows as well.
Around here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. His last game as a Duck was the Game 7 loss last season against the LA Kings. Here's a chance for Malik, and he's bumped off the puck before he can snap that puck.
Did a good job of really shutting down Perry and Getzlaf. They each had an assist, but only had 5 shots, and Getzlaf had 4 of them. Perry had been extremely quiet, but they have answered the bell in the third period, and if you go match head up with the 2 big lines, the little line has been extremely quiet in this game.
Here's Henstrom trying to step in. Gets a little help here from Wheeler. He was up high, and he almost turned it over to Kessler, but Wheeler, such a great skater, back to recover, and then he takes a hard hit from Bolesky. And that is icing against Winnipeg.
Had the opportunity to play against Teemu Selanne in my career, and man, was he quick, and he had hands of silk and a great release, and you don't get kind of numbers like this unless you've got some kind of talent, and he certainly did, and what a staple he was in Winnipeg, and evenly so here in Anaheim. A really beloved player, and good on him. And boy, he brought it every single night. Still looks like he can still play.
No kidding. 11th all-time in goals, 15th all-time in points. Great NHL star, great international star as well. Multiple Olympics, World Championships. Stempniak, first to the puck, back in his own zone, puts it up the boards. Here's Scheifele meets it. Saw Lindholm coming. And now it's Beauchemin. Quickly moves it across to Silverberg. He's got some help on the right side. Tagliano with some speed centers it out in front, looking for Silverberg on the backside of that play. And now here come the Jets. Back the other way. It's Stempniak in there. Shoots, rebound, and back to break it up is Fowler. Now Fowler's got the puck as he races in. Spins it back into the corner. Dupre's going to step up and step in to Bufflin. Here's Wagner. Wagner trying to go towards the net. Off the skate of Sherrod. Net by Edom. There's the centering attempt, and that goes off a skate. Halishchuk now with it. He'll chip it in there, and in after it is Chris Thorburn. Anderson out of his net. Moves it up the boards, and the Jets keep it in back in front of the goal. Looking for Slater. Slater and Thorburn hard into that corner, but Anaheim gets that puck around the near side, and now Jackman's got it. Off the center ice, flips it ahead to Wagner. Trying to step around Jacob Trouba. Here's Wagner, looking for the centering attempt. Jackman gets it back to Wagner. Chris Wagner out of the corner, back to the line. Beauchemin was calling for it, he's there. There's the pass. Perry with a drive, and Pavlik makes the stop on Anaheim's top sniper. Perry's got the goal in this third period. Has got it all tied up. Another drive, and Pavlik with another stop. Shots are now 27-19 in favor of the Ducks.
Well, the heat has been turned up officially here. Anaheim has really been running here hard at the Winnipeg Jets, and the crowd's not going to like this icing call, as Maroon felt like he had the inside position on the puck and got to the hash mark first. An unfortunate collision, not a collision, but a little mix-up here between Dupre and Fowler, and that ended up giving Stempniak, who's had 6 goals since this game over, to the Winnipeg Jets, and he lays it in off the pads, but no one there for the rebound. And then sometimes when you come off the bench, nobody can find you because no one knows you're there, and Corey Perry steps off the bench, and good on the Anaheim Ducks to find him in the high slot, and he let that thing rip.
13 playoff games last year with the Penguins, his longest playoff run in his career. Face off down the attacking zone for the Jets.
Those really good depth players that you need if you want to go on a good long run in the playoffs. Guys like Stafford, Stepniak, good ads for the Jets.
Past the midway point of the third period, we're all tied up in Game 1 in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Here at the Honda Center for Game 1 in this first round meeting between Anaheim and Winnipeg. Dave Randolph with you, and Gary Kelly. Happy birthday, by the way, buddy. Happy birthday. You enjoying this one?
Much.
It's a good game. What does Winnipeg need to do to start turning momentum back towards their way?
You know, they've played a pretty decent road game here in Anaheim, and I think what they have to do right now is say, hey guys, we're 2-2 on the road. We've got less than 10 minutes to go here. That's not so bad. We have a chance to steal a game in Game 1 here. Let's move on and play a real strong last 10 minutes. This is a team that's done this for the last 10 games of the season. They've got to just ante in here. They've been sitting back a little bit on their heels.
Harry moves it across. Maroon tries to step into a shot, didn't get all of it. And Madden stepping up to the play was hit there by Buckland. Here's Perry now with the puck, trying to step out, and he is removed from that play by Ben Sherratt. Michael Frolik now at the line. Winnipeg is offside. Well, the games just keep on coming in this wild first round. Tomorrow night, here is the schedule. Hockey Central kicks things off at 6:30 Eastern. Then the Sens and Canadiens Game 2. Wow, did anything happen in Game 1 in that series? That's on CBC. Game 2 of the doubleheader on CBC. The Flames and the Canucks, another beauty. And we also have the Islanders, Caps, Blackhawks, and the Predators. How about Chicago and their comeback in Game 1 in Nashville? That's all the action tomorrow night. Find your game.
Well, PK Subban avoids a suspension, and Mark Stone is a question mark for Game 2, and arguably the Senators' best player, best skater up front if you take out the Hamburger.
Stafford. And his pocket picked by the back pressure applied by Bolesky, and Anaheim's right back in there. Palmieri leans into Enstrom, trying to come up the puck there. Scheifele's down low as well. Couple of ducks in behind the goal, guarded by Pavlik. Where is it now? It squirts free, and Scheifele's got it. Art Scheifele, whose season last year in the regular season ended due to injury early, was healthy enough to play for Canada the World Championship, and now here he is in his first Stanley Cup playoff game. Out in front of his own net is Dupre. That one goes up into the Anaheim bench, and we get the whistle. Want a chance to win a VIP trip for two to the 2015-16 NHL game of your choice? Register now for Sportsnet Stanley Cup Playoffs Fantasy Hockey Pool. It's free and it's easy to play. Visit sportsnet.ca/fantasy for details.
Every single face-off, every single alignment. Look at the players talking to each other. They got to make sure you got your assignment and you know exactly where you're going. That next goal is going to be a very large one.
22-year-old Adam Lowry wins the draw back to the line for Stewart. Tries to snap a shot off of Silverberg. He's trying to race away. Here's Jacob Silverberg in there. Pavlik guarding the post, makes the stop. Nothing to shoot at. And again, that is chopped up into the Anaheim bench, and that draws a whistle.
Been a really good trade for the Anaheim Ducks. He's brought a ton of speed and some balanced scoring, some secondary scoring. He's great in the shootout. He's got that quick release. He blocks the shot. Not a lot of take back. He fires the puck from about 2 inches behind it, follows through. He likes to go that short side high, and nothing to do with that is Andre Pavlik with a big save as we look at General Manager Bob Murray.
The man who acquired Silverberg. Bobby Ryan went to Ottawa. They got Silverberg and a first-round pick they used for Nick Ritchie. Slater had his stick chopped out of his hands. Alex Judd can't contain the pressure, and Buckland has stepped up the line, and it's swept back in by Ben Sherratt.
That's a pretty poignant comments, Bob Murray, before the series even started.
Stepping in now is Edom. Trying to make some dangling moves, puts it back towards the net, and that goes off a skate. Bolsheman back there against Buckland. Buckland all the way around the net. Cycles it back into the corner. We're waiting for it. It's Little. Little skating away from Edom. Jets need some time down to this end of the ice. There's not been much here in this third period, which has just over 7 minutes remaining in it. Still in there, they flip to open ice near side. Met by Enstrom. That hits the stick of the corner. Lindholm is there, and he chops it back out and down. Myers and Toby Enstrom go back and forth with the back end. Trying to get it up to Scheifele, and now it's turned back. Here's Getzlaf. He'll step in, makes one move. Perry following up in there. Backhand stopped by Pavlik. Oh, what a chance by Perry, and what a save by Andre Pavlik. He had him down and out, and now here come the Jets. Scheifele in, shoots. It's blocked. Never reached the net. Quickly moved back up to Perry.
I think that might have went in. Corey Perry celebrating, and he had a talk with the referee coming up. We're going to have a closer look at it when we get a whistle. And if it is in, all this time is going back onto the clock. And he's telling the coach he thinks that in. He might be right.
Here's Trouba now. He'll step in over the line. Jacob Trouba trying to work around Stoner. Trouba now cycles back, still with the puck moving in. Nowhere to shoot, and he lost the puck. Kyle Palmieri back the other way to center ice. Steps in, trying to feed it over to Bolesky. That's broken up, and now it's turned back the other way. Lowry. He'll step in, snaps a shot that is blocked right in front. Stoner seemed to get that one up high, and now a penalty call has been made here. High sticking is going to be the call.
I don't think it's going to matter. Everything will go back onto the clock. I think this goal is in the net. I think all this time, and this penalty is going to be waved off. I think the Anaheim Ducks might have themselves a 3-2 lead here. We'll have a quick overhead look at it here as Corey Perry, just his reaction just told me this thing was in. He lays this thing in on the far side, and we'll follow it here as he pokes it the second time, and it's in. And just the reaction when he poked the puck, he put his stick in the air, his hands in the air, and then he had a conversation with the referee. It's a heck of a right leg save by Pavlik, but good on Perry to reach back with the long reach and throw that in, and right there, that has crossed the line. So everything that happened after that moment will have to come back onto the clock, including wiping out that penalty, and they'll take another run at it.
This is being reviewed by the NHL Situation Room, presented by Samsung, and it's pretty clear.
5:37, and whatever's added back on in this period is all the Winnipeg Jets are going to have. And to me, with those last 7 minutes of the second period, you know, and then coming into the third, you had to think you had to start picking up your game a little bit, and they just haven't picked it up. The turnover in the neutral zone is what started this whole play. I mean, when you're playing against Getzlaf and Perry, and here's the overhead on the poke, and you can see it's clearly across the line. I don't know what's taken so long. I know the angle and everything that the camera's on, you want to be sure, but I don't think there's any doubt this is in the net. But this all started from a turnover in the neutral zone. I mean, when you're playing against Getzlaf's line, and you know that they're so good, you cannot have those turnovers in the neutral zone. Those are going to come back to haunt you every single time. As we look at this puck and we blow it up, and this angle is probably a little more difficult to tell because it's from outside of the line. But it hits his pad, and it's clearly his pad is 6 inches deep into the net or more. And Corey Perry's going to have his second goal and his third point of the night. And I just don't know what's taken so long. I mean, they want to be absolutely sure, and good on them for that. But that's clearly over the line.
Heck of an effort by Pavlik, and a heck of an effort by Perry, who was going the opposite way, but still was able to reach back, and here it's the call.
The entire puck crossed the line.
Corey Perry now has back-to-back goals in this third period, and the Ducks have the lead.
How about that? Eyes of fire. Had the mumps earlier in the year, missed some time, came back, missed another 10 games with a knee injury, had his season disrupted twice. But when he's on, he is on. He had a fairly quiet first half to this game, but he has absolutely turned it on in the second half. And now they're going to put time back on the clock. It's going to go back to 6:39, and I'm sure everything that happens after that gets taken out, including the penalty.
Now Now they're showing the replay up here in the Honda Center. And the orange towels are waving everywhere in here.
I think the decision they're trying to figure out is what happens to the penalty. I'm pretty sure it gets wiped out. There's the stick going up in the air. And when you're a goal scorer, you scored as many goals as he has. Look at him talking to the referee right away. And here's that turnover, up by Enstrom, and then a little soft backhand by Wheeler up the wall is just not what you're looking for. Getzlaf picks it off, bounces it off the skate of Scheifele, and that gives the opportunity for Perry to cruise right in. And he gets to protect the puck because he's a right-hand shot. And Pavlik doesn't elect to go to the poke check or block him from coming across, and he just goes forehand, backhand, and waits him out. And the first save, the right pad save, is a heck of a save by Pavlik. You got to give Corey Perry full marks for the reach and staying with the play and finishing it off.
So they are reviewing to make sure the exact amount of time is put back on the clock. Right now it is showing 6:39 remaining, and we'll see if that is adjusted in any way, because that is obviously crucial to everybody watching back in Winnipeg and on that bench right there. Corey Perry from Getzlaf and Lindholm. So Perry with 2 goals, Getzlaf with a couple of assists tonight, and the Ducks with their second lead of the night.
You get this goal. It is a big goal, and you want the building loud, you want momentum, you want to keep rocking. This has killed it for Anaheim. All this time waiting to drop this puck. I mean, the crowd is quieted. I mean, you're not getting the kind of positive atmosphere you need from a goal like that at this time in the game, and that's an advantage to Winnipeg to get their wits about themselves and then drop this puck. You got 6 minutes and 39 seconds, and the penalty is going to stay on. I did not believe the penalty would stay on the board, but apparently it does. I think that's what Getzlaf was arguing.
So it's a high-sticking call against Clayton Stoner, so the Jets have a power play to work with, and an infraction that took place in time that really doesn't exist anymore.
So I apologize for that for everyone listening. I did not think this penalty would count. It's definitely a penalty. He high-sticks Lowry in the face. So my bad. I guess the penalty that happens, the infraction does go, just the time goes back on.
And a big chance here for the Jets. Great opportunity to try to tie this back up and quiet this place down. They win the draw back to the line. There is Trouba with a wrist shot, looking for a tip in front, but that is knocked down easily by Lindholm and sent down the ice. In on Pavlik. Dustin Byfuglien, 5 power play goals in the season for him. Near side for Wheeler. Cuts in. Wheeler couldn't get a shot away. Silverer got just a piece of him. Into the corner and down to the line, held by Byfuglien. Trouba and Byfuglien go back and forth. Near side, this is Brian Little. That's Wheeler who's lost his helmet. Now Trouba up high. Dustin Byfuglien creeps in, takes a shot, rebound, they bang away, and Ladd just missed. Back up top, Trouba wide, shoots, and that is blocked right in front. Rebound gets it again, and the wrist shot tipped up and out of play. Great pressure by the Jets.
They've fallen behind. They're obviously the desperation. They're coming the way they should have been playing through this third period, and good on them to kick back here. There's still plenty of time on the power play. 59 seconds, good end zone time. That's exactly what you need. Look at Wheeler, old-time hockey. No mask, no helmet on, standing in front, screening, battling. Do whatever you can to try to get in the way of Anderson not seeing that puck.
Big face-off won by the captain, goes into the corner, comes free for Fowler. Chance for him to clear the zone, and he just does. Gets to the center. Racing over there is Enstrom to keep the pressure on. Flips it ahead, and Drew Stafford's after. Stafford has a goal here tonight for the Jets. Scheifele meets it down low as Foley. Into the corner is Stafford. Back up top for Toby Enstrom. Stafford, top of the circle. Takes a shot, and it's knocked down and cleared back to center. Not all the way down. Quickly moved back in. Drew Stafford on the boards. In front. Goes in behind the goal. And Stafford's going to dig it out. Off the boards, he goes to Toby Enstrom. Back down low, waiting for it is Foley, who keeps the puck moving. Stafford is parked right out in front. There's Myers. This is Enstrom. Tyler Myers looks, pulls it across. There's a shot saved by Anderson on that wrist shot by Scheifele. Scheifele now, down low, back and forth. Power play is over. Jets still with the puck. They work it back to Myers. Myers wrist shot and the bouncing puck is snared by Anderson. He has got it.
Corey Perry, what he does best. He loves to trash talk. He can get on the nerves of his opponents, and when he's playing well and scoring, you know he's bringing it all that. Standing in front here, he gets a nice little redirect off a skate from Maroon, and he pops that into the open net, and then he comes across puck protection. Pavlik allows to just block the 5-hole and not the poke check, and look at those eyes, like 50-cent pieces. He may have been quiet through the first half, but he has been a star in the second half of this game.
Big face-off here in the Anaheim zone with 4:28 to play in regulation, and it's controlled by the Ducks. They've come back here with 2 goals in the third period.
Corey Perry, who's been the guy that lights the lamp the most for this hockey club. He's won a Maurice Richard Trophy, he's won a Hart Trophy. And since 2007, 2008, he has kept some pretty good company when you look at the likes of Stamkos and Ovechkin and Nash and Iginla. 266 times he has put that back puck across that red line. And that one there only by a few inches, and it is a big one.
This Jets team never goes away. They never quit, but they're going to really have to battle an uphill environment here tonight.
Coming in with the lead into the third period, they had only lost 2 games all year. 32-6 after 2, and they've let this one slip away a little bit as you look at Corey Perry and all the pregame rituals that the players have. Some guys like to sit on the bench and imagery, and then he just likes to tap that ice with his stick. Like it's a baptism. Okay, you're worthy to go, and that stick I'm sure is worthy. It's
One little tap.
3-point night for Corey Perry.
2 goals and an assist. 4 goals and 11 points last year for the Ducks. A couple of years ago, he says, you know what, I didn't do anything. And he came in here motivated to make his mark, and he has here at game number 1. 4 minutes to go. Set it out in front, and it bounced away. Here's Enstrom now. What a chance there for Foley. There's a blast. Loose puck. Anderson down, and Stafford swept it just wide. And a penalty call coming up here. It's going against the Jets. It's going to be a boarding call.
It's going to go against Michael Foley on Stoner. And this is a tough call to take. And once again, it's the penalties that jump up and bite you. And they've already got a power play goal in this game. Vatanen throws this into nowhere's land. I don't know why he was thinking of laying that into the middle of the ice. You never throw a puck blind into the middle. This creates a great scoring chance for Stafford. They were lucky to dodge that bullet. And at the conclusion of this play, watch Stoner going to get the puck. And there's the boarding call. And it is a good call. Paul Maurice can say, hey, it's the playoffs and all that, but that's a blindside hit with not a lot of room going into the boards pretty hard. And you'd want that call the other way, but it comes with 3:51, and the big boys are back on the ice. And when you're from behind, you cannot take chances and take penalties. I mean, it's a split-second decision, but you look at the Scheifele punch led to the goal, and then this one now.
And they've got the puck. Here's Perry in behind the net, pushed it into the corner, back up top for Getzlaf. Getzlaf finds his open man, shoots, and Pavlik makes the stop on Sami Vatanen.
One of the things that really hurt the power play for the Anaheim Ducks down the stretch is when they lost that guy, Sami Vatanen. When he was out for that extended period of time, their power play really struggled. He makes it tick back there. He's the quarterback. You mentioned the 7 power play goals. He's got a great eye, very creative, and there he walks down the backside. They know he's coming down on his right-hand shot. Big save by Pavlik.
Drafted 106th overall. A real nice diamond in the rough for Anaheim. There's another wrist shot from Vatanen, deflected and hammered around the boards. Held there by Fowler momentarily, but Ladd pushed him back. Here's Perry now. He's going to step in, and the Ducks will set up. Sends around. Anaheim 1 for 2 tonight on the power play. Vatanen takes it off his skate, backs it into Perry, works it down low for Getzlaf. Ron Getzlaf walks out, snaps the shot, scores! Too much tonight.
The big line. You have to contain the big line and keep them off the sheet, and they are doing some damage here. Corey Perry's going to end up with a 4-point night. Nice reverse cycle here. Perry takes Getzlaf's spot. He takes his spot, and as he turns around, he's walking out onto his forehand. And then it's top shelf. Thank you very much. What a great release from Ryan Getzlaf. Self-inflicted. 2 poor penalties by the Jets at poor times in the game. You look at the LA Kings last year, they had a power play going into the playoffs of 15.1%. And then 23.5 on their way to the Stanley Cup. And that's exactly what the Anaheim Ducks are hoping for. This power play will rejuvenate itself, and 2 goals tonight.
And it has really been, to say quiet would be an understatement, but they have come alive.
Abysmal that power play. But
yep.
I mentioned the fact.
Here's another blast from Silverberg, wide of the net. Ricard Raquel as the Ducks keep the pressure on. Wrapper on his head, Pavlik is down. And here's Raquel walking out of the corner. Looking around, both shoulders. Myers breaks it up. Stops the cycle, and Winnipeg is allowed to flip it down the ice.
We talked about the fact that for some teams, you just have really good power play records against them. And for the Anaheim Ducks, it's been the Winnipeg Jets. Over 30%, and they've continued that tonight as quite a few conversations are going on the exchanges and the bench changes. Anaheim's just simply turned the heat up, and Winnipeg has not been able to handle it.
Anderson made some key stops as well along the way here. Here's the Jets back to work, trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat. Here's Bufflin, gets it to sit down, up high for Weeder. Moves it across for Trouba. His wrist shot stopped and held by Anderson.
Well, it's a game of bounces, and that's for sure. In the playoffs, bounces are everything. And there, that puck that gets thrown out, and right there, it bounces over Michael Frolik's stick. And whoa, have the hockey gods get you. Doesn't he take the boarding penalty?
Seconds later,
and that might be a bit of frustration where you finally get yourself a turnover in a great scoring position and you don't get nothing out of it, and then you take a penalty, and don't they come down and burn you on it. Goalie out of the net, minute and 45 to go.
There's Pavlik. He's on the bench. And the Jets down by 2. Kessler to take this draw, pulls it back into the corner. Bolsheman spins it around where it's going to be met near side by Silverberg. Now Bufflin takes it. Jets sweep it towards the net. Loose puck for a moment. And Anderson covers up.
We have a penalty here on this play as well with a minute and 36 seconds. May have a little 6-on-4 going on here as these conversations are just starting tonight, and there'll be ones that will be going on for the next 10 days to 2 weeks as the Winnipeg Jets pull out the stops here, and they get a puck. There's the hook right there by Silverberg as Bufflin lays it to the net, and right away has a look at the referee, sees the penalty is going to be called, and they'll leave the goalie on the bench, and they'll go 6-on-4 here.
Hold on. Hold on here. Tell you what, that coach on that Anaheim bench did not look relaxed with his 2-goal lead here. 1:36 on the clock. Lindholm hard around the boards and down the ice. Good start for Anaheim. Big pop out of his own zone, makes the pass up ahead to Weeder. Was in his skates and he was turned back. Bufflin again to center and in. Round the boards it goes. Wheeler, Ladd, keeps keeps it moving. Myers steps up, pushed it back into the corner. Here's Bolshevik, leaned on by Wheeler. Wheeler trying to sink that puck. Reedy's got it, trying to center it. Kessler's there, flips it down the ice, and this one misses. Final minute.
That's the luxury you get when you're shorthanded. You don't have to worry about the icing.
Sent in, not deep. Fans on their feet here, the Honda Center. Getzlaf couldn't get it out. Here's Berlin back towards the net, and then it's kicked up and out of play by Frederick Anderson.
He tilts that stick down, so that thing just ramps the puck out of play. He knew exactly what he was doing on that shot to the net. Penalty killers have been out for a while. Let's get a whistle right here. And he just tilts the stick down, and up it goes into the mesh. Smart play by Anderson, as we'll get a timeout here by the Winnipeg Jets, and we'll try to set up a play here. 31.8 seconds. They've pretty much got to score off the draw here to have any kind of chance, any kind of look at it.
This Winnipeg Jets team, Gary, Anaheim's had their number this season. They are 3-0 against Winnipeg. Couple of games very close, but they've yet to beat them.
Yeah, I mean, the shootout loss and the overtime loss are close games, but that's the Ducks' deal. That's what they do. I mentioned earlier the record, 31-1-7 in one-goal games. That's how they like to play it.
Again, a reminder, action tomorrow night on Sportsnet and CBC, including the big CBC doubleheader, Senators-Canadiens Game 2, and also the Flames and the Canucks. Calgary are the big comeback win also, much like these Ducks here, getting it done in the third period. 31.8 on the clock.
Andre Pavlik, and what a run he's had. Looks like that's going to come to an end right here. You can't say he played bad. 33 shots, but at the end of the day, 4 goals, and those, you know, you just can't allow 4 goals in a playoff game.
And this one is sent right back down the ice. Tyler Myers scoops it up and skates back up. Near side feed for Justin Byfuglien, who's trying to skate in, shovels it towards the net, knocked down by Frederick Anderson. For the second straight year, the Anaheim Ducks come in as the top seed in the West. And there's a long road ahead, but this is a good start tonight on home ice. 4-2 Anaheim final.
Well, they're not done hitting yet. There's a couple of bangs there at the end of the last whistle. Wheeler drops Stoner, and they've had a few go at it all night long, and he's losing his cool, and one of his teammates has got to grab him before he starts pushing that lines around. Get out of there, it's over. There's a lot of series left, and good on the Anaheim Ducks. I mentioned here's the end of the game where he drops Stoner. It's all about sending messages. You don't need a text to do it. He's going to get that one straight. And you got to give the Anaheim Ducks a ton of credit here. They got down early in this game. The Winnipeg Jets were banging, and all of a sudden the banging stopped. And a couple of ill-advised penalties. The Ducks got their feet on the ground. And with all the pressure mounting on them in this game, they got back in and they climbed it. It's the 13th time this year they've come from behind. And they showed you why. They are one of the big teams in the West and one to be reckoned with.
Well, here are your 3 stars. How about Corey Perry tonight, the big line? He and Getzlaf combining for 7 points. 2 goals, 2 assists for Corey Perry. 3 goals by Anaheim in the third period, and Sami Vatanen with a 3-point night as well. And Anaheim takes Game 1 over the Winnipeg Jets. 4-2 is the final here from the Honda Center to wrap up another great night of the Stanley Cup playoffs. On behalf of Gary and Cassie, this is Dave Randolph saying good night from Anaheim. Now Sportsnet Central. Here's Jamie and Carly.